attorney plans to take his case to the state's second highest court. But for now, Saccone is off to state prison for 10 to 30 years, the sentence he initially, but now regrettably, agreed to.
After months of listening to Saccone in court, Samra Osmanovic's sister, Michael Walker's mom, BAYLIE Rose's twin sister, had their turn to talk.
You took her away by the decisions you made that night. The anger, frustration, disgust, and hatred I had towards you and your cowardly actions that night hasn't and never will subside.
I do not know how to explain to you that being forced to live without my child, my only child, is unbearable. That it's difficult for me to go on with any day without looking for Michael or waiting for Michael to come home or call me.
I told BAYLIE the night she passed away that she was going to be an aunt. As soon as I told her I was going to be having my first child, she said it better be a boy. I told her that she would be a godmother and that she was super excited to be there for me throughout my entire pregnancy and even be a part of my child's life. I gave birth to my beautiful baby boy on October 25th, 2018. Something that was supposed to be very exciting and happy turned out to be something so emotional and somewhat sad. I look at my son daily and I get upset that he's never going to be able to meet BAYLIE.
Well, this is the last of what's been months of emotional and dragged out county court appearances that the victims' friends and families never missed.
But as News Channel 9's Andrew Donovan explains tonight, that does not mean this is the last we'll see of Anthony Saccone.
Mrs. Saccone, any comment? Any message for the victims' families?
The Saccone family had nothing to say after watching Anthony try one last time to get out of the prison time he agreed to.
I was forced into taking this plea deal back in July 25th. I told my previous attorney more than once that I had a green light that night. He chose not to represent me to the best of his ability.
He couldn't convince Judge Matt Doran, who upheld the sentencing negotiated by the attorney Saccone replaced.
When you kill 3 people and you admit to it in court, you're not getting out in 10 years. You're getting out in 20 years, okay? And if the lawyer told him that the night before he pled guilty, I don't think he would have pled.
Saccone's new attorney will use that argument to move the case to the appellate division in Rochester, a disappointment to the families wanting to move on from his courtroom rambles.
I feel bad for the victims. It's a horrible, horrible loss for them to sustain, but at the same time, I feel bad for the defendant because he paid a guy $25,000 to defend him, and the guy didn't go out and take the steps that you do on a vehicular homicide case. It's not complicated.
Do you think Mr. Saccone is not guilty of the charges?
I believe that if he had the appropriate defense prepared for him, that I would be able to answer that question.
As that legal battle gets underway, Anthony Saccone will stay in jail locally in Onondaga County until he's transferred to a state prison somewhere in New York, but that process can take several weeks. Outside the Onondaga County Criminal Courthouse, Andrew Donovan, News Channel 9.
And as noted, Anthony Saccone will spend 10 to 30 years behind bars, but the families of the victims say that's nothing compared to the life sentence they're serving.
News Channel 9's Jennifer Sanders was in court alongside Andrew Donovan as 2 heartbroken moms and sisters united in grief and got a chance to speak their truth.
It's been 8 months and 27 days since they said goodbye. The families of Michael Walker, BAYLIE Rose, and Samra Osmanovic can now finally grieve.
I don't have my son back, but at least it's over. No more court. No more court dates. No more listening to Saccone with excuses. She lost her world. She lost everything. And not only her, we are hurting as well. The other 3 families are hurting as well. They will never see them again. Teenagers, young adults. They could have made a change in this world, and now they're gone.
For the first and the final time, Michael Walker's mother, Jean Scott, spoke directly to the man who killed her son.
I'm not sure how to do this. This is something that a parent should never have to go through.
Her emotion fell throughout the courtroom as onlookers listened to family members grasping for hope in what has become the darkest time of their lives.
How do you begin to accept that you will never see them again, hear their voice, or get to hug them? Samra was so full of life. She enjoyed everything she did and lived each day to the fullest.
Samra's older sister brought to tears, remembering how just 10 days before the crash, Their mother died from brain cancer.
The fact that she didn't have anyone to comfort her during her last breath breaks our heart and has destroyed my family line.
Along with the family of Baylie Rose.
Bailey's not the first child that I've had to bury. And despite my anger, the loss of a child is a pain I hope I never have to bear.
And I hope that he thinks about them and his actions every day of his life. You know, it's not something that he should cast away. That he really, really hope that he does think about them every day of his life and what he did.
Although the final chapter of this case is closed, the families of the victims say they will spend a lifetime upholding the legacy of their loved ones. Outside the Onondaga County Courthouse, Jennifer Sanders, News Channel 9.